where two men started fighting.
You cannot tell me that what they're doing is not evil.
I want to do this follow-up video because I saw Brandon Tatum. I just happened to see that he had a video about TPUSA versus Antifa at UC Berkeley. Now, I went to this event, as I had mentioned in the previous video, but I didn't see all the things that went on. I saw some protesters, but I either missed it, came late and they had already done their thing, or I was in the event and maybe that's when some of it happened. I'm not really sure, but I wanted to go over some of the things that Brandon Tatum has said. And he made a comment that you can't tell me that what these people aren't doing is evil. And as a Christian, Mike, as a Christian, is he right? Is he right about that? Brandon claims to be a Christian, but let's see if he's coming from a Christian perspective and see if he has a point.
Already actually seen at least one fight break out. Amanda.
Yeah, things have been lively here. While that Turning Point USA event is still happening inside, protesters have been out here for hours. You can see them still here behind me. They have been chanting, just a very, very lively scene out here. While things have been mostly peaceful, there have been some tense moments. Earlier this evening, there was a scuffle that broke out where two men started fighting. UC Berkeley police had to break up that interaction. Later, someone was throwing smoke bombs and a car backfired, leading some of the people who were protesting to run away. The protest was put together by students organizing for liberation. Some students say they don't believe UC Berkeley should host a large Turning Point USA event like this one, but other people are happy to be here for the event.
Turning Point USA should not be here, and they are like a fascist organization, and nobody here agrees with what they are saying. And obviously Charlie Kirk has been a big issue with like a lot of college campuses and people on college campuses. So we just think like, I mean, obviously I didn't really follow him a lot, but knowing what he did and knowing the things that he was saying, it's just like vile and disgusting.
Ma'am, you tripping. You ain't followed Charlie Kirk. You said, I ain't even really followed. You don't even really know what he said. I put it on everything. If the reporter or somebody asks her, what did Charlie say that you didn't like? She has no idea. Okay. Now, she said that there's people that enjoyed it. I want to jump to that clip real quick because to make it fair, it's the Charlie Kirk chants. I think it was in the venue arena. Wrote a clip. And I just wanted to play that so y'all know everybody at the university ain't stupid, okay? You would think that everybody's brain is dead, but you got people that are their brains work, and you have people whose brains are dead, okay?
Okay, so he says you got some people with brains that work and brains that are dead, and I would agree with that. The majority of things that I've seen is that people are just speaking their mind. I went to the event, so I know what they were talking about. Rob Schneider talked about freedom, First Amendment rights, Second Amendment rights, touched on those things, even talked about Jesus. Frank Turek, same thing, talked about Jesus, talked about Joseph in the Old Testament, where he was sold out by his brothers, this evil thing that was done to him, and it was used for good. That was a response as to why bad things happen to good people, and God uses those things for good. So I know what the content was of what was being spoken, and he even spoke about love for your fellow human being, which we'll get to in a little bit later. But let's carry on. So let's move on to some of the violence that was going on that I found on X. So you'll see right here, Frontlines TPUSA. Breaking Antifa protesters have rushed the entrance of tonight's TPUSA event, attempting to break down barriers. I didn't see that, but I did see the barriers, and I'll cover that in a second. Attendees were all rushed behind a police arrest, and another anti-TPUSA protester has been arrested. So here's some of the nonsense that was going on. So you see this person's trying to ride the line of the barrier, scooted it back, and then got handled. Yeah. I think they're saying fascist not at Berkeley. Whatever. So here's a little cartoon that was pretty accurate then and now. Because who's the one, what side is suppressing free speech? It's pretty clear. So this is inside the venue. So as I showed you in the last video, somebody took a picture of this and posted. I can't remember if it was Frank Turek or Rob Schneider. This was the arena before the event. And that's me. So that video that you just saw was taken from here, and it was panning out this way. So yeah, I was there. I was chanting along with it. Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk. Of course, why wouldn't I? Because dude's an American hero and a martyr for the Lord. So amen to that. All right, so let's move on. That one scene that you were looking at was right here. That's where that last video was, where the person kicked over the barricade and got pulled and dragged down. You can see from the video, this is where the venue is. I have a video. I'll show you the video right now. Right here was where the protesting was going on as I came out of the arena. And I walked out this way, saw the barricades over here, and as I went through here, I'll show you that video also, where I was going through, and there was protesters here. Later on, I didn't get any video, but there was protesters over here. That's the one you saw on the news. All right, so let me just show you those. So here's one of the protests. When I came out, they were to the left, and I went as close as I could. There was a security guard. Obviously, there's like 4 or 5 right there in the video that were keeping them from coming this way, but there was a couple that you'll see a guy right here. There was 1 or 2 of them just to keep us from going over towards the protesters. So here's the video. That's the venue. That's where it came out of, was right there. So the next video, this one is in the hallway. As you'll see, it goes through that area right there. And that's where this was as I was leaving the event. So let me play that little clip. This is me trying to leave this place. In my opinion, by the time I came out, it was a lot worse on the video than it was in person. Now there was quite a few people at the other end, but it looked like to me like it was kind of dispersed by that point. So yeah, I didn't see what I'm about to show you. So let's go. Let's move on. So yeah, they were protesting pretty good. So let's see what they were protesting about. I'm sure they were protesting to make a strong point against this fascist right here named Rob Schneider. Let's see what this hoodlum had to say.
We need you to do that. We can't just have a group of people that's selective service and then just send people over. Everybody. So when there is a conflict internationally, everyone's son and daughter is potentially going to be sent there, and that will make us all think twice about some other war that we don't want to get tangled in. Thank you.
So showing concern about his country, his fellow countrymen, going off to war in foreign lands. Man, that is a fascist if I ever saw one. So yeah, what are they protesting exactly? So this girl agrees with Rob, and she was just asking for a handshake from him, which he obliges. But just before her was a guy that had a like a Cecil and Beanie hat. Is it Cecil and Beanie? And so they had a little bit of an interaction. The guy challenged Rob and said, called him, you fascist propaganda and all that. And I guess he was an Antifa guy. And so Rob gave him a little bit of snapback or a clapback. And but after was able to shake hands with Rob asked the guy to come up and listen to what he says.
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Schneider, may I shake your hand?
Yes, come on up here. Thank you. Thank you so much. And you, come up here and shake my hand. You, Antifa. You come up here. Come up here. Seriously, get up here and shake my hand.
He was shaking his head. He wasn't going to come up.
Come up here. Come here. I wish you all the best. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you. All right?
So we see that Rob didn't really have anything offensive to say. Let's see the horrible things that this other fascist, Frank Turek, had to say.
If there is a good God, why doesn't he stop all the evil in the world? And I said, sir, that is an excellent question. Maybe because if he did, he might start with you and me, because we do evil every day. You ever notice when we start complaining about evil, we always start complaining about somebody else doing it? It's like, hey, God, why don't you stop him? God, why don't you stop her? God, why don't you stop the shooter? God, why don't you stop Hitler? God, why don't you stop... Why do we never say, God, why don't you stop me?
Yeah.
Ladies...
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, if God were to stop evil at midnight tonight, would you still be alive at 12:01? I wouldn't be.
That's the nature of what was being said by Frank Turek. So that ended up being the theme of the night. So Rob reposted this. So this guy posted the video, and then Rob reposted it. And this is the section that I wanted to show you. Now, this is Rob. I don't know how long he's been a Christian, maybe a few years now. He's known Charlie for 3 years, he said at the event. So as you see here, Matthew 5:46 and 47. So this is King James. For if ye love them which love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans the same? Not sure if that's correct, but... that's what we all do, right? We love our own. That's easy. And if ye salute brethren only, what do ye more than others? Do not even the publicans so? We love our enemies. So let's take a look at that in the English Standard Version. Again, Matthew 5:46 and 47. For if you love those who love you, what reward do you have? Do not even the tax collectors do the same? But if you greet only your brethrens, what more are you doing than others? Do not even the Gentiles do the same? So here's another one related to that. And they did talk about this in the video as well. So starting with Matthew 5:43, you have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven. For he makes the sun rise on evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and the unjust. And again, here he goes. For if you love those who love you, what reward do you have? Do not even the tax collectors do that? And that's the same part that we read, right? And if you greet only your brothers, what more are you doing than others? Yeah, it kind of rhymes. Do not even the Gentiles do the same. Therefore, you therefore must be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect. So that was what was covered during the night. That's what these guys were protesting against, but they don't know because they don't really follow Charlie. They don't really follow TPUSA, so they have no idea. They've probably read those partial quotes that you probably read yourself, and probably wonder sometimes, like, hey man, I don't know if that sounded right. But Charlie was a good person, good man, spoke the word, and kept to it. And so I don't see anything wrong with what they were doing. But let's get back to what Brandon has to say.
And they protesting that stuff. I just want you to share this with your kids in college and say, they did all that yelling and screaming and spitting and cussing and violence and burning stuff, and they there all night long doing this. Even after they left the event, Turning Point was done, they turned the lights off. They still out there fighting and spitting on each other in the middle of the street. They did all that to combat what Rob Schneider, and that's just part of Rob Schneider, said a lot of other incredible things, and what Frank Turek said. This is what they're protesting. You cannot tell me that what they're doing is not evil.
Do I agree with Brandon Tatum? Is Brandon Tatum right that what they're doing is evil? Yes, he is right. He's 100% right. And I'll tell you, like, I went to this event and I walked by the crowd. I even walked up to them because I wanted to see what their signs were saying. And nobody did anything to me. They didn't push me around. I wasn't wearing a Charlie Kirk shirt or anything, just a regular old button-up shirt. So I didn't see anything like what was shown on the video, which did happen at the event. I just didn't happen to see it. So protesting in itself is not an evil thing. That's part of our rights, right? It's part of the First Amendment. But the things like throwing tear gas, spinning out with the tires, the misdemeanor type of thing, little violation. But the fist fight that I showed in the other video, beating people up, throwing things at people, busting down barricades where you're not supposed to be, those are wrong. Those are evil. So I agree with Brandon Tatum. He's 100% correct. And if somebody comes up on you and challenges your person, right? They get in your space, or they get in the space of your loved one, you have every right to defend yourself. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but if somebody's going to come up on you and threaten, you have to protect yourself. So, but we still need to love the people. Have you ever been in a fist fight, like in the school? Sometimes you end up being good friends with that person. And that's what we need to keep in mind. Before we were believers, we were involved in our sin. So we need to have grace in that sense and always offer the hand of forgiveness as the forgiveness was given to us. Everybody has a right to their opinion. Everybody has a right to defend themselves. And we have a right to call out evil when evil is being done. And some of what was happening there definitely was evil. So that's all I got for this video. I just wanted to add to what Brandon had to say, and I actually do agree with him, and he's right on this. So as always, guys, I love you, and God bless you, and take care.